don't know if you can see her. I'll try and show you. Rosie is visiting. She's right there. She's behind me. Hello, welcome back to the Knit Away the Anxiety podcast. My name is Marissa. Anxiety score, we'll talk about that a little later. Not much on the knitting front has changed. I've had some starts, I've had some stops. Garter Eyelet has been testing me last 2 weeks. Actually, not even 2 weeks. Date of recording is Sunday the 22nd of June, and that's likely the day I'm going to be posting this. So it's been 3 weeks, and it's been testing me majorly again. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But let's get started. I don't know if you can see her. I'll try and show you. Rosie is visiting. She's right there. She's behind me. She's hanging out. So she may pop up a time or two. I don't know. She's just chilling. So podcast puppy. But let's get started. So I have one FO, and it's the one I was hoping for. Let me get it out here. Got all these freaking project bags. Anyone else ever feel like they have too many project bags? Sometimes I feel like that. But anyway, I have one or two ends left to weave it and wash it, but I haven't yet. Here it is! Gingham and Daisies is done! It's freaking done! Oh my lord, I am so happy that this is done. I haven't washed it yet. I still have a freaking end or two here and there, but oh my god, it's done. It's done. I did it, guys. I did it. It's done. It is done 2 whole months in advance. Thank goodness it's done. Yeah, it's done. Thank God, it's done. It's done. It's beautiful. I already sent my sister-in-law a photo of it, and she loved it so much that a couple weeks later she asked me to send her another picture because she wanted to just stare at it because she loves it so much. It's just, I'm so happy with how this turned out. And I know it's gonna soften up so much after I wash it, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I'm really glad that I ended up going with the plan I ended up going with. So basic details on the whole Gingham and Daisies was the Gingham and Daisies baby blanket by McLennan, and I did it out of Lion Brand Wool Ease, which is an 80/20 acrylic wool blend. And I did it in Fisherman, Dark Rose, Rose Heather, and a little bit of Loops and Threads acrylic and the color Impeccable acrylic, and then color Lemon for the center of the daisies, just get that yellow pop. And I did that on a US 5 or 5mm hook, prim of course. So the thing that was really difficult about this whole thing was that I ended up getting 2 different dye lots of the Rose Heather color, and I didn't know what to do because I had one lot that was very pink, very red, very rose, what you would think of as rose, and I didn't have enough for the project, so I ordered more. And it's like they changed the color formula or something when they made this yarn, because it went from this beautiful rosy pink to this orangey pink, and I don't know what the hell happened, but I basically had 2 lots. I, as you would expect, had 2 completely different dye lots, so completely different colors. And what I ended up doing was taking the more pink leaning ones and putting those in the same row as the daisies themselves, and then the more orangey ones I put in between the daisies, in the in the rose and white rows, so that so that it would blend a bit more. And at least to my eye, I can barely tell, and I know that anyone with an untrained eye is not really going to be able to tell either. And I ended up using, I don't remember what in the hell the joining method I ended up using. I did not join as I went, which may have been a mistake, but I'm glad that I went with the method I did, because it ended up kind of reducing the weird shapes of the squares, so they ended up being a lot more square, even without blocking and without washing. So overall, I'm insanely happy with it. I love the the border too. The whole thing just turned out way better than I had expected and hoped, and I'm super happy with it, and even better, my sister-in-law is super happy about it, or super happy with it, and I know this is exactly what she wanted to be able to give to her cousin for her cousin's first birthday, or first baby. So this was an immense success. Highly recommend. The pattern will be in the link down below, as will the yarn and all that stuff as usual, but highly recommend if you need a baby blanket for a girl or whatever. My blanket ended up being significantly larger than the pattern originally calls for because I did extra squares. I am kind of known when I do baby blankets, I always do them bigger than you would expect them to be. I don't do a basic like receiving blanket, which is like I think only like 30 inches by 30 inches or something. I do closer to a crib size, which is like 45-50 by 45-50. Because that's just how I like to do my blankets. I prefer for someone to be able to use it and have their child use it for many more years beyond when they're initially born. And that's how it is now. Like my best friend Mel, I made her firstborn a blanket and I did it really big, and he still uses it, and he's like 6 now. Like the kid's in kindergarten. No, he's like 5. But like he still uses it because I made it that big. So there's a method to my madness for why I make massive baby blankets. Anyway, Gingham and Daisies, done! Woohoo! Alrighty. Whip time. And as usual, we're gonna start with the Garter Eyelet, i.e. my rendition of Helen Stewart's Habitation throw. It tested me again, y'all. It has tested me again. Let me get it out. So, once again, I got literally almost to the last full skein and the last few tiny balls, and realized I miscalculated somehow, and I was going to use even less yarn this time than I had originally thought. So I had to tear it all out again to that spot where I started doing the first corner. And I had to extend the vertical by another like 2.5 mini skeins. And I think please, I think I've finally gotten it down so that I have exactly 14 mini skeins, which is exactly how it took 14 mini skeins to make the initial increases to the correct size. So my hope is that I have left 14 mini skeins to do the decrease. So my hope is that I did the calculations correct so that I don't have to do this again. But if I do, oh my god, how am I going to even look this up? Holy crap. If I do have to do it again, there is a lifeline. I made sure I put in another effing lifeline if I need to add more freaking length than before I do the decreases again. So, in the time since you last saw it, this is all I've done. That's it. From the little marker all the way over here. That's it. That's the only real progress that I've made on it. So, it's probably gonna be another month or so before this is done, which blows majorly because I wanted it to be done. But it is what it is. I don't always win. I want to win, but I don't always win. So, yeah. Garter Eyelet is still going. Still checking. This is part of why I'm not a pattern designer, y'all, because I would get so frustrated with all the ripping out. Like, my good friend Nicole is a pattern designer, and I have seen her rip out entire garment designs, I think like 8 fucking times because it's not working. And I just sit over here and I'm just like, I don't know how you can do that. That's even too much for me. Like, I've ripped this out I think 4 times and I'm just about ready to burn it. But I want it too bad to burn it. I want the blanket too bad just to burn it. Because there's going to be so much yarn out of my stash when this is done. So much. Oh look, there's little dog ears. There she is. There she is. She's hiding behind me. Okay, let's see her. So that's the Garter Eyelet blanket, inspired by Helen Stewart's Habitation throw, as I said previously. I'm doing that entirely out of a mix mash of Oopsie full skeins and maze skeins from Sewrella yarns, and just a mix of like their Superwash Merino classic base and then their 75/25 Merino nylon base. Bunch of freaking colors. I can't even tell you all the colors. And I'm doing that on a US 8 or 5mm needle. And it looks like next on the docket is the Groove Shawl Light, which I don't think has had any real progress. I don't think. I barely touched it, just if I'm honest. It was a little bit. Not a whole lot. A tiny bit of progress, but I think that was the re-knitting, because I saw that there was pooling. There still is kind of a little bit of pooling. Like, yeah, it's still, like I pulled in the end of the ball and it's still kind of pooling, but it's not as noticeable now. I can live with it. So it's that one's just chugging along. That's eventually it'll be a shawl, maybe, if I can keep up with it. I don't know. Sometimes there is something about this damn yarn. I have been trying to use this frickin' yarn. Like, I have been trying to use this yarn and do something with it for years. And I mean like close to 7 years I've been trying to do something with it, and I just cannot seem to nail down an exact project for it. I'm hoping the Groove Shawl will be it. If not, I may like pair it with something and make it into a blanket if it's really gonna be that difficult. Like, I would be okay with making that into a garter blanket with like some form of, I don't know, something. If I get to the point where I'm like, this is not doing anything for me and I just want to make it into something, because it pools too much to be a garment. Like, it has to be some kind of accessory or a blanket or something like that, because there's so much pooling. So details on that. That's the Groove Shawl Light by Sarah Opie. Doing that out of Sock Obsession yarns in the color Doctor Who Cut the Ear Off, which is on their 75/25 Superwash Merino nylon base. And I'm doing that on a US 6 or 4mm needle. Okay. And then the last whip is the log cabin blanket for my husband. So, since last episode, I completed a square. 1A square is complete. And I am this far into the B square. I was further, but I messed up and did not put in the correct gray, so I had to rip out. So that's where I'm at. Not a full 2 squares done, unfortunately. A lot of my focus has been on the Garter Eyelet blanket, so that's why not a lot of progress on everything else. So that's chugging along. It's going okay. It's a blanket. It's squares. Like, garter stitch is, admittedly, garter stitch is rather therapeutic and calming for me, so I don't have any problem doing just garter stitch. It's really good for when I just need to turn my brain off and watch TV. So I'm not too worried about that one. So full details on that. That's the Log Cabin Blanket by Staci Perry or Very Pink Knits. And I'm doing that out of Lion Brand Pound of Love, which is just an acrylic yarn in the colors Black, Chocolate, Sleet, Cadet, Oxford Gray, and Denim Blue. And I'm using an US 8 or 5mm needle for that. Okay. 6 Day Superstar is still in hibernation. I think it's going to likely just stay there forever. Like I said last time, I have to go on a major crochet hiatus. Like, tendonitis in this wrist is better, but it is easily exacerbated by crochet, so we're not doing that, sadly. So that's what's hibernating. New cast-ons. I have one. This is the irony of me being me. I actually finished this whole freaking thing, but I hated the way in which it was working up, because I think it was too many stitches for this thick of yarn. So I tore it out, and I'm tore it out, and I'm knitting from this and making it again into a smaller version that'll hopefully be taller. So this is another sock yarn cowl, like the super basic sock yarn cowl. I'm doing it out of leftovers from my husband's socks. I don't think I have a progress marker for this, but I'm going to movies today, so I imagine a lot of work will get done on this, and this will likely be done by next episode. So I'm not even going to put a progress marker on it. I'm just going to finish it. I always have a sock yarn cowl going. It's so easy. When my husband and I go to the movies like once a month, it's really easy to just have a thing that I can throw in my bag and work on whilst we're watching a movie, so I don't have to, like... it's like I've done the whole no looking whilst knitting thing for so long that when I'm in a situation where like I could be doing it because I don't need to look, my hands like freak out. Like I need to be doing something in order to focus on what I'm watching now. It's weird. So details on that. That's the sock yarn cowl. I'm calling it number 5 for the year because it's the 5th one I've done. By Noble Knits. I'm doing that out of Patton's Croy sock in the color Tourmaline Stripes. I'm using a US 5 or 3.75 millimeter needle. Okay, so I did have 2 acquisitions this since last episode. Only because I was at Michael's and I saw yarn that I need for a project that I want to make. So I got 2 more balls of their Loops and Threads Luxe Merino Wool Blend yarn. It is a 75% superwash merino, 45% acrylic. It's a DK weight yarn. I'm finding the more and more I work with yarn, the more like refined I get with my yarn choices and the more conscious I am of like how I'm purchasing, what I'm purchasing. I'm finding I'm being more drawn to wool blends, so wool nylon, wool acrylics, just because that's my preference and cost limits. And I'm also finding that I love working in worsted DK or fingering. DK is becoming kind of my favorite. Not like I hate how long it takes because of how small it is, but like in terms of wearability, like all year round, that's something I like, is that I can wear something that's DK weight all the time and I don't feel like I'm overheating even in my new cold all the time body. And I really love their Luxe Merino line. It's all solids there. I think they have, it's solids in the store, but then online they have like flecked, or what in the hell is that term? I'm blanking on the term. What is the term? Tweed. Oh my god, I can't even think. They also have a bunch of colors that are tweed colors. And I really love like the washability and just how easy this is to work with. This is, I would say, probably my favorite. Like, sadly, color range is kind of limited. I think it's like less than 10 colors in each, both the tweed and normal. But like, I love this because there's a lot of neutrals. So if you have like a specialty yarn and you need something to pair it with in like a color work or something like that, but you don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars in order to like get enough of that main color, something like this is great. Like one of the things, who did I learn this from? I think I learned it from Pardon My Stash. And if you guys don't know Pardon My Stash, you need to go listen to their podcast. They're not on YouTube, but whatever podcast platform you listen to, Pardon My Stash, fabulous, love them. I think it was Tina on Pardon My Stash who said that like if you have budget constraints or size constraints, like when I was at my heaviest, like buying wool yarn was really expensive because of how much I need to buy. But if you want to do something like color work or stripes or something like that, and you have like the accent colors but you need a main color, do it with something that's cheaper. No one's gonna freaking know. Like, you don't have to tell them that the main yarn that you used is like a big box store freaking yarn. You don't. Like, if you have, so like, perfect example, this yarn, I plan, one second, for context, this yarn, I'm gonna pair with all of these minis. You guys remember this bag of minis from the stash episode? Yeah. This bag of minis I got as a my very one and only advent I've ever done. These are all DK weight yarns from Yarnaceous, I think. I'll link her below. It's a bunch of yarn inspired by the dinosaur yarn lady. I can't remember her name at the moment. I'm so sorry. But I'm blanking on the freaking name of the pattern at the moment. But I want to take these as my contrasting stripes with this. Like, this stormy dark gray with all these bright pops of color. Hello, that'll be such a fun fucking cardigan. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. It'll be so fun. Now I need to go find the freaking name of that cardigan. One moment, please. Aha. The Daft Days cardigan by Rebecca Clow. And I'll put a picture up over here. It's a stripy, kind of oversized cardigan, and I am going to make it with these yarns. Maybe not right now. Maybe once I hit like the 60-pound weight loss mark. Like once I think I can start making my garments again once I hit the like 2/3 of my loss kind of thing. Like when I know I'm closer to my end size, I think I'll be comfortable making like garments again. But this is my plan, to take these blues and greens and purples, and I'm not using the pinks. The pinks will go into my freaking whatever. I don't know. They'll probably go into something for my mom. And this as a cardigan. Like, so fun. It'll be so fun. But like, I'm not gonna go spend probably $400. Granted, I would love to support a small business like that, but I can't afford that. Like, I'm not gonna spend $400 to get hand dyed like DK weight yarn enough and the amounts that I would need in order to make this cardigan. I literally just need 2.5 of these, and this was $10. So for less than $50, I can make a whole cardigan with the 2.5 of these that I need. Like, this is what Tina was talking about. Like, if you have some fun things you want to do something with, go get something that's inexpensive that you can work with, that you can hide it in. Like, you don't have to freaking spend all that money on the main color. You can go to Knit Picks, you can go to Lion Brand, you can go get a Luxe Merino from freaking Michaels. Like, there are ways to make it more like sustainable and like work for your budget. Like, it doesn't have to be 100% hand dyed. Like, it doesn't have to. If you want to do that, cool. More fucking power to you. I applaud you, and am very jealous that you have that kind of income. Absolutely. But for a lot of people, it's not the case, especially right now with the way the world is. Especially in the United States. Holy shit. No. Everything is so damn expensive. So that's my soapbox. Is that if you need a main color, you don't have to go to you don't have to go and get all of it from a small dyer or even from some really expensive place. You can get those main colors and those neutrals or whatever your base is in order to do something with the wacky colors you have, and just do that. Save yourself the money, save yourself the freaking heartache and the stress of the finances. Like, there are ways to make it work. But so anyway, that long ass tangent was my acquisitions. Holy guacamole. So I got 2 balls of the Luxe Merino, which is 150 grams per ball, so 300 grams. And then with the Gingham and Daisies being done, I am at a negative of 424 grams for the month. Or at least since last episode. Woohoo! Negative 400 grams. Thank God. As long as I'm in a negative, my acquisitions are fine. Okay. Content warning time. It's right over here. Content warning. We're now getting into the full-blown anxiety and weight loss conversation. I put on waterproof mascara today just in case. Because it's going to be a bit of a doozy. I'm trying to get comfortable and I'm really struggling because my body hurts. So, weight update. I think I'm solely blaming this on the pizza I had yesterday. I'm up a few pounds. I'm at 255. I have been hovering in that 255 to 250 range for months. I'm in that plateau. I'm struggling right now. A lot of things are difficult. Stress is really fucking high. Cortisol is really fucking high. Anxiety is super fucking high. Everything is high right now. Cost of living, everything is just here. So that's, yeah. I'm trying to just be okay with, hovering and being in that weird spot, because that's how it's gonna be after I do the weight loss. Like, fluctuations on a daily basis are normal. Very, very normal. And I'm trying to remind myself of that so I don't get discouraged. Oh my god, this stupid shirt. In terms of movement, I've been doing some walking, not a whole lot of it, more like those short 3/4 to a mile walks with my husband. I did 1 or 2 of my longer 2-mile walks. I did manage to go to the gym on Friday, like literally 2 days ago, which is why I'm in pain. I managed to go to the gym and do a full leg day. My God, my calves, not my calves. Why do you want to say my calves? My quads hurt. And so does my butt. My quads and my butt hurt. And it was nice to go. I went later, like more like closer to like 8 o'clock or whatever, and the gym was fairly empty. So that was good. And as usual, the weight loss stuff kind of feeds into the anxiety stuff as well. So the anxiety stuff, current anxiety score is 8.5 out of 10. And I can say with confidence, a big part of that is that the new system go live stuff at work is really ramping up. Go live is in August, and we've started end user training, and oh God, it is a lot. It is a lot. And of course, I'm in the group that has the most to learn. So I've been in the system and learning these things for like a year now. I still have a minimal grasp on it. I don't know the deep dive things of the system. And we're literally doing like a morning training and an afternoon training, which works. It means I don't have to do a whole day and like lose all visibility. The hard part is that half of my team is taking the morning classes, and my boss is in those classes with them to help them and explain things. And then I'm in the second half of the group with the afternoon people in the afternoon, and I'm working through things with them, and I'm in that group and explaining things to them. And the really hard part is that those of us who are in the afternoon group have to cover the morning group's emails. So we're basically doing our own inbox and then their inbox at the same time at the busiest point in the fucking day. So, and I'm the only one of the 4 of us who are in the afternoon group that has access to everyone's inboxes. So I'm managing like 4 fucking inboxes in the morning and just sending things to people, and trying to deal with my own inbox at the same time. And I'm hoping that this coming week will be a lot easier, because the first 2 days of training, my like star person who's part of the afternoon group with me was on vacation. So like she was just gone. So I had to also deal with her inbox, even though she purposely asked someone from the morning group to cover her inbox the whole time she was gone. So like I was already doing her box like the whole fucking time, on top of doing his box, another person's box, and then someone else's box, and another box, like just so many inboxes. And I'm really hoping that this coming week, because she's back from vacation and we made sure to give her access to everyone's inboxes, that she can just disseminate things in the morning, and I can do the same with the other inbox, so that I don't, as I now say with my boss, don't have a pink popcorn moment. So I don't have I'm gonna lose my marbles and run out of the building screaming moment. So that is causing a lot of stress, and like also because of the trainer for the end user training, they're based in Minnesota, so everything is on Minnesota time, whilst I'm in Oregon on the fucking West Coast. So like I have to take my lunch 4 hours earlier than I normally would because of the timing. Oops, that fell. Maybe not 4 hours. No, I take my lunch like 2 hours early, because I have to make sure I take my lunch at the exact hour break between the first and second training of the days, and I have to make sure I get back in time to run the whole fucking training for my group. Like normally I go to lunch at like 1:32 p.m., like the end of my 6-hour limit, so that I can be done with my day as soon as possible. I'm not doing that now. Now I'm literally taking my lunch after like 3 fucking hours, so I'm exhausted and mentally fatigued by 2 p.m. And it's like my entire job is brain. So mental fatigue is a whole another level. Like I feel like I'm back at when I was training the entire team, like a year and a half ago. I literally feel like that's what I'm doing right now, and it is exhausting. And of course, there's someone in my group who cannot sit through these fucking meetings, because the last couple of meetings we've done it in like the conference room, and just I've used my computer to show the freaking meeting, the screen of the person who's running the meeting, and the three or four of us are actually physically in the conference room conversing, and this person will not shut up. So me and the other person in the room cannot pay attention because she won't shut up. She keeps jumping around, jumping ahead, and it's just like, just because you got early exposure does not mean you should jump ahead. Follow the fucking instructor's instructions. For fuck's sake, please. Just, I'm gonna lose my marbles. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. So I'm really hoping that this coming week we're trying out the afternoon group doing their classes remotely, so that those of us who have work from home privileges can continue working from home even though we have all these trainings to do. And I'm really hoping that works, because if it does, if it does, then we will not have to go in the conference room again, and we can all stay at our desks, and she can't talk the whole fucking time that we're going through this course. She will actually have to pay attention. And I'm like, please let the remote work. Please let the remote session work so that I don't have to deal with this again. Please. Because if I have to do it for the next 3 weeks, I think I might lose my fucking mind. I legitimately might lose my mind. Like, this coming week has a bunch of weird fucking class times and shit, and like multiple classes and courses, all these fucking topics and shit, and I'm just like, there's just so much. There's just so much. And I'm trying not to lose my mind, but I'm intentionally talking to my boss and keeping her apprised of where I'm at mentally. And like, I went to therapy in the last week and a half. I've seen my therapist twice. We'll go into that in a second. But like, my therapist and I determined I'm in full-blown fucking burnout mode. Full-blown burnout, which is why I am struggling with the most basic of shit. Like, I am struggling with everything because I'm burnt the fuck out from a year and a half of dealing with this system, dealing with these fucking people on my team because my boss doesn't do anything, waiting for these positions that are going to be created because of this new system. Like, I'm blanking on I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on the name of the person who commented of asking about if I could get a different job. Like, I could, but I don't want to leave the company I'm part of. I actually really like the people I work with. For like, as people, I love the team I have. Like, as people, love them. I love the people who work for this company. The parent company, or the company that bought them a couple years ago, they kind of suck. They're a corporate entity. Like, they don't understand the level, like the kind of things that this company is trying to do. Like, the company I work for intentionally does a lot of stuff to take care of their employees and ensure a good company culture and things like that. Like, they do a lot to ensure that people are happy, to keep people. So I purposely joined the company because my husband was there for a couple of years and loved the company and the culture and everything. I joined the company for the culture, and the culture stays. The culture has maintained as best it can even after the corporate acquisition. But so I'm in this weird limbo spot because there are supposed to be positions created for the data management of this new system. There's supposed to be another position created in accounting. The data management positions are going to be working directly for corporate. The accounting position is directly for the company I currently work for. Like, and the job descriptions haven't been released yet. And like, they have to be in the next month in order for these positions to be filled by the time the system goes live. Because like, beginning in August, my team will no longer be able to do accounting functions and data management functions. We won't be permitted to because of legal reasons. So I'm in this weird limbo spot waiting for, like, the head of our division at corporate knows my name. I have been put forth for both these positions by multiple workstream leads, and they want me for the job. Like, my name has been put forth multiple times. So it is only a matter of time before I get the offer for both of those jobs without even doing anything. Like, my reputation precedes me. It's just a matter of time, and I need to see the descriptions to determine which one's going to have the best pay, which one's going to have the best benefits, and things like that. Because we're doing things for corporate is way different than doing things for my company. Like, the benefits are different. Like, the bonus payout benefits are different. Like, there's a bunch of shit that's a contributing factor for me in deciding which one I go with that I need to know. So I don't know them yet, and I'm in this limbo, waiting for that information. Rosie, come on. Get up here. Come on. Puppy. There's a puppy. What are you doing? What are you doing, baby? Rosie, what are you doing? Rose. Rose. Hi. Rosie. Hi. I know Daddy's upstairs. I know. There's a dog. She's being silly. But yeah, so there's I'm struggling with that. Just because I want to be out of this position. I don't want to be doing customer service anymore. I'm not built for it. I am built for data management and numbers and back end. I'm built for back end, not customer facing shit. So I'm almost there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm trying to remain positive. It's literally less than 2 months. Less than 2 months, and I will be done with this BS. And I will be able to relax. So I'm trudging through. The other thing, let me see here. So, okay, on to the therapy, anxiety stuff, finally. The work and weight loss stuff is kind of over. So, the anxiety's been its worst, obviously, because of the work stress, but, the suicidal thoughts have gotten worse. So, and like I said earlier, I saw my therapist twice in the last week. And that was because when I went into her office last week and I told her that the thoughts had gotten worse and that there was more planning and more thoughts going into it, she was concerned. So she's like, you're going to be in here next week. I want to see you in like the next 5 days. And then we're going to increase to every other week for our frequency. So I am seeing her every other week. And when I was in session with her last Friday, or not last Friday, Friday before, whatever, I was asking her, I'm just like, why am I struggling with what feels like the most basic shit? Like, why am I struggling with things I've already dealt with anxieties I've already dealt with? Like, why does it feel like I can't do the most basic of things? And she told me it's because I'm getting kind of lost in what it is rather than how to deal with it or something like that. Like, in essence, she informed me that it's not that I'm dealing with a new stress, it's that I'm dealing with the same stress and the same anxiety as when I first started seeing her 4 years ago. It just looks different because it was triggered by something different. And that was eye-opening. Like, initially I didn't believe her until I went home and talked to my husband, and he was like, well, yeah, it makes sense that, like, it feels like a different form of anxiety, but it's really not. It's the same thing. It's just a different form of the same thing. Like, when I first started this job, I had a lot of anxiety around not feeling like I was good enough and like I couldn't do the job and like I was incompetent and like I was a failure. And it's the same thing with this new system. Like, I feel incompetent, like a failure, like I'm not going to meet expectations and like I'm not going to be able to do the job. It's just on a different level because I know the job and I'm trying to learn a new system and then train people based on that. And it's the failure anxiety. The failure anxiety is there again, and it's like, you have dealt with this before. You know how to deal with this. You know how to use your tools. Spoiler alert, apparently I don't. So I realized when I saw her last Tuesday, I was like, okay, you were right. I talked to my husband, and yes, it is definitely, I'm experiencing the same thing as before. I mean, I am. That is what is happening. It's the same thing, and it just feels like a lot more because last time I struggled through it and did it on my own, and this time I can't do that. I can't just struggle through and kill myself over it or expend every last ounce of what I've got because I'm burnt out this time. This time around, I'm heavily burnt out, so I don't have the bandwidth to deal with these struggles. So this time around, I'm leaning heavily on my boss and making her do her job, basically, and she's helping me. I have that phrase with her, I have pink popcorn, so if I ever have have times when I just need to be done for the day instead of feeling like a failure because I am struggling, I can just tell her pink popcorn and she will literally just let me leave. If I just need to be done, if I just need to take an afternoon and gather myself and all that, I can. And she's not gonna guilt trip me for it, nothing. She told me that she would much rather I tell her I need to be done and go home and take care of myself than struggle through it and hurt myself. So thank goodness I have, she can be difficult, but thank goodness she's an understanding human being and understands that I am a human being that struggles because I want to do the absolute best for her and the team and the company. So I'm very grateful for that. So there's that. So that little spoiler alert I mentioned, I learned when I was in therapy the other day that I've been using all of my little anxiety spiral prevention tools wrong. I was under the impression that in order to use my, what we've started calling check the facts, which is what my therapist has me do when I'm spiraling and thinking all these negative things, she has me do this thing called checking the facts. And checking the facts is look at the situation and actually see, is this legitimate? Like, what is the actual percentage of, like, if I'm having a spiral where I feel like a failure, and it's like, what is the likelihood of you actually being a failure? Like, are you struggling? Yes. But are you failing at this? The answer is 99% of the time, no. Like, it's like a reality check kind of thing I have to do for myself. It's like, I'm having these thoughts and I'm spiraling, and it's just like, I'm supposed to say to myself, check the facts. Like, is this legitimate? Like, is this the actual reality, or is it just how I'm feeling? And like I said, 99% of the time, it's not actual reality. It's just how I'm feeling. And it's like, okay, now is your time to acknowledge the feelings, let them roll over you, and let them go. And I have struggled with that for 4 years, using that tool, because I was under the impression that when you use a therapy tool, when you use one of those tools, it is supposed to take you from the 90, 100%, or whatever you're at, to 100, like that. And that's not how it works. I learned that really recently. That's not how it works. So like anything, like any like nervous system resets, like if you're having, like if your nervous system is going crazy, and this is something I learned from my husband. If your nervous system is losing its marbles, you're having trouble breathing. If you like squeeze really hard on the inhale, release on the exhale, and do that over and over and over again, this resets your nervous system, or helps to reset your nervous system. And I was under the impression that if you do that, you will go from 100 to 0 instantly. And that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. That's not how it works, as I've learned. The way my husband explained it to me was that if my normal threshold for handling and getting through the anxiety and functioning even with the anxiety is down here, but I'm feeling like I'm up here, the tools are meant to do this, kind of bring it down a little bit so I can raise this level, not do this. It's supposed to kind of make it so that everything kind of equals out so I can push through it and continue, rather than it being completely just stopping everything. So I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it made a lot of sense to me. It's just like, oh, it's not 90 to 0. It's 90 to like 60, where I can normally handle it. Like it brings it down to my normal functioning threshold, rather than absolute 0. And that was eye-opening. Learning that was eye-opening. Makes me feel like a lot less of a failure when I'm not able to go from 90 to 0. Because I thought that I was using my tools all wrong because I wasn't going from 90 to 0. Oh, look, a dog. Hi, Rose. Hi, puppy. So yeah, that was a big breakthrough for me, was learning that I've been using the tools wrong, or having the wrong expectation for the tools. So I'm trying to realign my expectations when it comes to my tools and using the tools, so that I can hopefully function a little bit better. I still need to go to the doctor. Talk about appetite suppressants. In a weird way, I actually haven't seen my nutritionist yet. I'm seeing her this week, but I've kind of discovered this really weird thing, at least for me. Adding flavoring, i.e. like little packets or whatever, to my water seems to be helping with the cravings for some reason. Like, having that sweetness just continuously throughout the day seems to be helping with my cravings in the afternoon. I don't know why. Like, I went and bought a whole bunch of like sugar-free Dole water flavorings, and like Ocean Spray, and Snapple flavorings. All of them are sugar-free, and there's like 10 calories per packet or whatever. And I have like 3 or 4 of them a day, because I drink 3 or 4 of these, and this is like 32 ounces. So, and the reason I do it in this is because my Awala water bottles, I don't like putting flavoring in them because it can increase the breeding of bacteria. So I have a designated water bottles for flavored water because they get washed more frequently. They can go to the dishwasher way easier. So, but I'm finding having flavored water is helping with the overall like hunger pains and whatnot like that. Like if it's in between meals and I know I can't eat yet or whatever, have like, normally I would drink a bunch of water to try and fill my stomach and it wouldn't do anything. But for some reason it seems to be helping in a really weird way. I don't know the psychology of it. I don't know. It's just what's working for me right now. Yeah, so that's working. That's helping. And I think the biggest update would be the gym anxiety. Again, I talked to my therapist about this last week, and again, it's the same anxiety I experienced last summer when I first started this whole journey. The difference is that it's kind of coming to me in a different form. And like I said, I'm burnt out in every regard of life right now, and it's harder to deal with because I'm burnt out. And because of this, my therapist has given me another tool, or thing that she wants me to start doing. I am to picture my anxiety in whatever it looks like, a scribbles, a ball, a person, whatever, and name the anxiety. And then every time I'm feeling anxious, specifically about going to the gym in this instance, because that's when it like, for some reason, the anxiety paralyzes me when it comes to the gym most. When I feel like that, I am to imagine the anxiety, imagine this person, and tell them to fuck off. Literally tell them, fuck off. Like, go to hell, you are full of shit, fuck off. In order to, like, remind myself, like, the anxiety is a lot. The anxiety is lying. Like, it's not actually, like, what the anxiety is telling me is the lie. Like, especially with the gym anxiety, I have it in my head a lot with the gym, like, someone's recording you, you don't deserve to be here, like, all these really stupid things that have never actually happened to me. I've never had someone come up to me and say, get the fuck out of here, you don't belong here. I've never had someone record me and post it on the internet. Like, I've witnessed that happen to other people and it makes me sad, but it's never happened to me. It's like, why are you getting upset or pre-anxious about things that have never happened to you? Why? And that's part of my anxiety problem, is I am a anxious planner. I disaster plan. I preemptively am like freaking out about things that have never happened to me, will likely never happen to me. Checking the facts, the likelihood of these things happening is nil. It's fucking nil. But it still paralyzes me because that's how the anxiety I deal with. And now I am to imagine that anxiety and tell it to fuck off. And I can't, like, I know what my anxiety looks like. I know what she looks like. She looks like this little twit that I met in fucking middle school that I almost beat the crap out of because she was bullying me. That's what she looks like. But I don't know her name. And I'm trying to, it might just be fuck off. I might just call her anxiety. I don't know. I'm trying to find a name. I don't know. I will find a name at some point. And I'm that's what I did Friday when I decided to go to the gym. I had a bit of anxiety, but I was like, okay, go to hell, fuck you. And I also realized that one of the things that helps me when I'm having those feelings of I'm being observed, someone's watching me, I'm being observed, a thing that I found helps me, and I've found this out via work, if I can occupy a bunch of my senses at the same time, the observance anxiety doesn't happen because I'm so engrossed in what's going on and focusing on what I'm doing that I don't think of it. The anxiety doesn't happen. So, like, when I'm at work, and this may sound like a fucking nightmare to some people who have sensory overload or get overstimulated easily, and I do get overstimulated sometimes, but if it's intentional overstimulation, I'm okay. I discovered that if I am knitting, listening to music, and reading all at the same time, and yes, I can do all three at the same time, I do not even know anyone else exists. I'm in my own little bubble, and I'm happy. So, like, I started doing this thing when I had to do cycle counting at work. I had to take my lunch really early, and I had to be in the lunchroom during when the production team was in there, and I don't know anyone on the production team, so I'd be alone. So what I would do is I put both my headphones in, play my music, have my Kindle out so I could start reading my book, and then I would be knitting at the same time. I'm doing all three at the same time, and I can literally hear the music, like, I'm not trying to focus on the music, it's just kind of there to block out the sound. And then I'm focusing on intentionally reading the pages and reading the book, and then I'm just knitting because it's become muscle memory for me. And though that combination of all three of those things really helps. I tried this at the gym on Friday. I was obviously walking, listening to music as I do, but normally one of my problems when I'm at the gym doing my warm-up cardio is I look around and watch everybody, and that just makes my observance anxiety so much worse, because if I'm watching them, they're watching me, kind of thing. So what I did was I had my phone, because I forgot I didn't have my Kindle with me. I had my phone and I just had it playing the lyrics for the music I was listening to, because it's a new album, I wanted to learn the lyrics, and I just was reading the lyrics while listening and walking. And I didn't look up like at all. I just focused on the lyrics, and it helped so much. Oh my god. And I also did a playlist change like halfway through my gym routine. Like I listened to the new album I wanted to listen to while I was on the treadmill, and then I switched to the algorithm, like your station or whatever on Amazon Music, when I was actually doing my actual workout. And oh my god, having like the two separate playlists, one to really get me in the zone, and then another one that just really hammered home, like, defeat the demons, beat them, do the lifts, do the things. Like, I dealt with the observation part in here with the reading and the listening and the walking, and then I just went to town over here with the muscles, and it was the best gym session I've had in months. I want to go back to the gym on it's Sunday, so I want to go back tomorrow. Like, it was such a good time, and I think because I also went later in the evening, I got there like 8 p.m. and the gym was not even that busy at 8 p.m. and I don't know, it just, I'm trying to remember how good I'm feeling about telling this to you guys. Like, it was like a renewal. Figuring out those things, figuring out fuck you to the anxiety, take care of all the senses at the same time, so you're not looking at anyone. Change this, like, doing these little tiny things made my brain so happy and so clear that when I walked out of that gym an hour later, I was on top of the world. I literally was like, victory! Victory! Like, full SpongeBob victory screech. Like, it felt so much better than it has in the last few months. Like, it felt so much better, and I want to keep now, like, it's like a like I said, it's like a renewal. I want to keep going. Like, I've got the food thing down. I really have. I've gotten the food stuff down. I've got the nutrition down. Like, I've got that down. The movement is where I'm struggling. The anxiety around the movement is the struggle, and I am ready to kick it in the ass. Like, I really am. I don't want to be done. I don't want to have to do this whole process over again. I want it to be, I do the process, I lose the weight, and then I sustain it for the rest of my life. That is what I want to do. That is my plan. And finding this, I don't even know what to call it. Finding this system, I guess, gives me so much more hope. It gives me so much more hope. And that helps with things like suicidal thoughts too. Like, it just makes it so much easier. It makes it so much easier. So I'm really hoping that if I continue on this path, I will break my plateau. I will lose the remaining like 60 pounds I've got left, 60 to 65 pounds, maybe a little more. I don't know. I haven't decided what my end goal is, really. I just know it's around 100 pounds. That's all I know. But it's, I don't even have any more words. I feel better today, at least. I feel better, and that's what I'm trying to focus on. Is just, I feel better today. That's good. We'll take it. So I think I'm gonna end it there. I don't have anything else to say. So, please leave me a like if you like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave me a comment. I love hearing what you guys have to say and your thoughts and feelings and where you're at and things you like. So, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I'll see you next time. Bye!